Welcome to Event Experience by Bizzabo, the podcast where we bring the best and brightest event experience leaders together to share stories, tips, and lessons learned from creating some of the world's biggest events. I'm Rachel Moore, your podcast host. This episode puts the "and" in demand as our guest, Director of Global Events, Demand Generation, and Communications at DocuSign, Ghazwan Almoazen, walks us through the fundamentals of demand generation in today's event industry. We talk about empathy, we talk about communicating with sales with the same care we use for attendees, and yes, we even talk about AI and some excellent takeaways to make sure it's a helpful colleague and never a replacement for your expertise. All of this adds up to a whole ton of event experience. We're back on Event Experience by Bizzabo. I'm back with you, your host, Rachel Moore. We actually are welcoming back someone who you might have recognized. You might recognize from being on a prior webinar for Bizzabo that happened to be about email marketing, something we all need and love and enjoy. But we're having him back on today. It's been a little bit since that, and we're going to get into some other topics with him that relate to, you guessed it, the events industry. Let me do a little intro of our guest. With over 12 years in the events industry, he brings a deep passion for driving business growth through results-oriented strategies that align with broader company goals. It's always good when we can do that. He is the Director of Global Events Demand Generation and Communications at DocuSign. I'm very pleased to welcome back to a Bizzabo event, Ghazwan Almoazen. Ghazwan, thank you so much for joining us back here for Bizzabo. Thanks.
Thank you, Rachel. Thanks for having me. Super excited to be here and be back with Bizzabo.
All right, we're going to get into some get-to-know-you questions. And I believe I asked one of these questions to you back when we did that webinar, but the answer might have changed. So this could be new information. When you are spending a whole day, a long day on the ground at an event, what shoes are you trusting for your feet?
Yes, I remember that question. I trust New Balance and On Cloud now.
Nice.
Because I need to be comfy. It's long hours, a day or two. It's long hours. I know.
I know, and I feel that coming through your voice right now. You're like, listen, it's a long haul, and you need to be able to. Your feet need to be cozy.
And I just came from an event 2 days ago where I had to be like wearing my comfy shoes over 3 days. Like I just need to be comfy so I can function better.
Got to protect those feet, folks. That's right.
Yeah.
Excellent recommendation. Is there anything that you're listening to, watching, or reading these days that you can't put down? And it does not have to be related to events.
Absolutely. When I like to binge some shows here and there when I have the time. Recently, I've been binging My Friends and Neighbors. Very great show on Apple TV. Gets me always engaged. But what's going to happen next? It's going to happen next.
That's the best kind of binging, right? You're like, I can't go to bed. It's 2 a.m. I got to keep going because what might go next? I love that. That's the perfect binging show. Is there a particular social post or a piece of media or even a hot take about events that you have found interesting lately?
Yeah, lately I've been reading the Freeman Trends report about events, and they were talking about the celebrity speaker value. With everyone bringing celebrity speakers now, or almost everyone bringing celebrity speakers to their event, is it really valuable, worth the spend, and what's in it for not only the company that bringing the speakers, but also the attendees? From my experience, I've seen that celebrity speakers, they bring up attendance rate more than registration rates.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. Because now they have access to all celebrities on all the channels, online, you name it. They can grab 20, 15 minutes, wherever they want, and listen to them talk about any topic.
Yeah.
But the in-person experience when they're sitting in that keynote room or that session and they're interacting with them and maybe doing some little meet and greet after for our top customers and top account, this is the key factor where it's like really valuable for both ends.
I think it's so interesting you mentioned that, gosh, it feels like, and I say this as someone who's recording this podcast right now, feels like everybody famous has a podcast now. So you can already the accessibility, there's they're right there. I can just flip them on and listen to them. But you're right. I feel like I see that a lot too. I even saw some today on my social feeds where you get people, they're able to be in the same space and get that selfie. And that's something they can't get just by watching their movie or seeing an interview somewhere. But if they're in the same room, what do you think though too about celebrity speakers, I always just wonder when there's like, it feels like there are a ton of mental gymnastics sometimes to be like, how does this celebrity fit this event purpose or topic? Do you see that? Or do you feel like people do an okay job of making sure that the speaker celebrity aligns?
I see it all the time, especially when I hear to them listen at events. So it's part of the speaker's prep before the event that we kind of find that hook between their story, whatever it's the business, the side business they run, or the acting career they have, whatever it is, then how we can tie it back to the product, to the company that hosting that event. I've attended events without calling names where the actress just spent 35 minutes just talking about her brand, her career, her recent shows, this and that. I'm like, okay, this is great, but when are you going to actually mention or tie it back in to the event that we're all sitting in this keyhole?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
This is kind of, I feel like it was like that could have been done better.
Agreed. Well, yeah, excellent insight. So word to the wise, yeah, if you're doing the celebrity speakers, it's really interesting to hear, how that it does impact the attendance rate versus the registration rate. So thank you for that. That's super interesting. I'm super excited. I actually to pull up the notes from that webinar, which was a great one. I think email marketing is always something we all have to tackle on repeat when it comes to events. And I just barely skated through your bio there. I know there's way more to it. I would love to toss it back to you. Can you, in your own words, acquaint our audience with what's your role like at DocuSign? What's your day-to-day? Tell us a little bit more about what you do there.
Absolutely. It's never a dull moment or a dull day in the world of events. DocuSign or any other company, as our listeners would know. There's all of these challenges, the ups, the downs, the learnings, the curves, the last minutes, and the expected and the unexpected. At DocuSign, I kind of manage all the communications, demand gen, audience acquisitions, plan strategies for our first-party events. For example, our flagship customer events Momentum that happens in New York every year in springtime.
Nice.
And also responsible for our third-party activations like Dreamforce. We have a huge presence at Dreamforce every year. And then this is where we also connect with our customers and prospects, and then walk them and talk to them about our integrations with Salesforce and Agentforce. So East Coast, West Coast, we keep everyone busy, we keep everyone engaged and learning about the latest and greatest from DocuSign and the intelligent agreement management that we launched last year.
So you're not busy is what you're trying to say.
Pretty much.
You're like, no, opposite. Just like any other event planner, it's like, woo, everywhere all at once. I'm so excited we're having you on too, because, and it's in your title. So if all of you are listening, I'm about to refer to something where, gosh, this word is loaded. The word demand. I think all of us as event planners would love to demand that people attend our events. We're like, I demand that you be interested in my event marketing and that I demand that you come to our event or attend our event. But generating that demand feels like a Mount Everest type of goal for event planners these days. How we can get attendees to feel like they have to participate in our planning, and it's something that's their schedule and their time and their money. It demands attention, right? I would love to let you just wax on here a bit. Can you share your approach to demand generation? Like, knowing that's a key function of your role at DocuSign, like, how do you generate demand? What's key for you about that?
Absolutely. And things got harder and harder after COVID on many levels. Attendees now, they face, for example, travel challenges. They have all the budget restrictions. They're provided with like so many options at so many events to choose from and attend springtime and fall time and even like throughout the year. So they have to pick and choose where really they want to spend their time. And thirdly, their expectations has gone really higher and higher.
Yeah.
We've seen from the latest and greatest from all the events, industry events in 2025 and even 2024, their bar has been higher and higher from not only from the content, but from the on-site experience itself, pre-event, on-site, and after. All of the things that people are expecting now to see at events and wanting to see and looking forward to, they pushed everyone out of their comfort zone, asked them to think more strategically and more into like how they want to create this emotional connection. Like you said, demand is just, it's not the easiest thing to create that, but it goes beyond the demand. What's the hook? What's in it for them that they want to leave everything behind and join us for a day or two or even three among their busy schedule from between life and work and all things.
I think, and you just hit on it too, they've got all I mean, really, we just keep harping on the word. They have all these other demands for their time, expenses. There are barriers. Even with post COVID, we're back in the world. We're able to all join together. But gosh, things move fast. Things change. There's geopolitical, socioeconomic, all these things that are going on and impacting what those barriers are, right? And as you said, even as those barriers are increasing, their expectations are increasing. So you better be generating that demand in some interesting, new, innovative ways that can just spark their interest, right? Like this is
Yep.
not normal anymore.
Absolutely.
What are some of those things like that you're seeing that people like are finally getting wowed by? Like, I guess I'm asking, are there any tried and true things that you're finding they're like, hey, if you offer this, this is an automatic demand generation, or is it not working that way really?
For example, they're all looking for to have live demos within the keynote. That's something that scares most of the event planners because, like, inserting a live demo with our executive on stage, it definitely has its risks, advantages, and disadvantages. But the advantages outweigh the disadvantages for sure, big time. People love to see things in action, especially if it's presented to them by other customers. It's gonna hit and land harder and better than if they just heard it from through a slide, for example. And then interaction, activations, gamifications in the expo area. They want to be able to connect to their peers, to their networks, to the other like product, like the sponsors and all of the folks in the expo area. They want to have what's the benefit for them, what's in it for them to hear that demo or to listen to that.
Yeah.
People going on to about our products is great. This is what can help you with. They want to go beyond that. It's solving a problem with them. What's the problem that it could solve for them? That's worth their time to spend some time and then learning more about and then adopting and using forward. And then how we can build on that after the event. So it's not a moment in time that ends or after the event ends and they get the survey and they have goodbye and this is it. It continues. It continues throughout the year. It's a lot of work between the marketing teams, the field sales teams, customer success teams, the product teams. Everyone should be coming together to making sure to carry that story over for the months after the event.
Wow. You said I want to hit a little bit on a couple things you said too. It sounds like in addition to, again, rising barriers, which is leading to greater expectations, I want to get more out of this since I'm, maybe sacrificing a bit more to get to this event or attend or participate. And then, so the content, while it's there, they're like, no, I don't want platitudes on slides. I want you to show me what you're offering me right now. It's like cut through the noise, give me this thing now. I came here to see it. So almost like they kind of, again, are demanding a little bit like, I want to see this right now. Don't just tease me out too much, right? Like they just show it to me straight out.
Absolutely. I've attended an event recently where the demo was like, there is zero speech from anyone. They asked the attendees to walk, like to stand in a circle, and they gave each one of them a disc. They will insert that disc, and then it will represent a different line of business. So 5 of us with different line of businesses, and they were like, the minute we insert the disc, the screen will light up, will show us all the information about that product and how we could use it for that line of business. And then so on and so forth in turn until all 5s are done. And then everyone has given like a little swag or little prize for their participation in that demo. Zero interaction with any salespeople, just nothing but interaction and fun.
That is super interesting. Gosh, I'm like I'm picturing that right now. I'm like, that is super out of the box and not like, oh yeah, just throw people in some chairs and get them, someone talking from a stage. Nuh-uh.
Exactly. Like you kind of hit 2 birds in one stone. You network with other folks in the event, plus you kind of got the demo like in a few minutes.
Wow. You're blowing my mind here. This is wild. So these are already some great insights too. I want to ask you, you mentioned flagship events, and, as part of your work that you do with DocuSign. I definitely want to help any of our audience who are also responsible for executing flagship events to get some insights here. How do you approach both in-person as well as digital-only communications and marketing to raise demand for those flagship events? What's your approach there?
I put myself in their shoes. What's in it for them? Why would they want to open my email? For example, if we're talking about the emails, why would they open my email at first place? What's in it for them? What problem am I solving for them? How is the event is worth their time and effort from them scanning the emails to taking the next step to go to the website and then register there? I try to make sure everything is seamless and smooth as possible with the most amount time that they could ever spend, because everyone is busy. Most people are like opening their emails now on mobile. So everything needs to be like optimized for not only for desktop, but mobile, and then scannable. Few minutes, you get the value proposition about what the event is about, what's happening, how it can help solve this problem for me or that. And then am I really going to have a great experience on site? We kind of try to paint all that pictures from throughout all the channels that we promote the event through, whether email, web, social, paid media, even the sales team enablement as well. So this way they kind of already have an idea like, okay, this is interesting. I'm going to spend some time on the website. I'm going to learn about sessions, or I'm going to learn about the keynotes, or they have some amazing speakers. I'm really interested in learning more about this topic or these kind of things.
It's so easy for all of us. This is not the first time we brought this up on this show. Marketers get it. I think marketing people get it, though sometimes we could even fall in this rut. The tendency to talk about, well, we're awesome. We made this. We offer this, instead of saying, what do you care? I need to get down to like, how does this make you sleep better at night? Or how does this, the thing I'm trying to get you to pay attention to, how is it going to improve your life substantially? And how important it is to start there and make sure that all of those communications on all of those channels, like you just talked about, first and foremost is thinking of who is the attendee and why does this matter to them?
And it's so easy, Rachel, to fall into that trap when the products team are working on their messaging and content. It's heavily focused about the company, about the product, and all of that. But again, once they lock that in, I'm like, hey, I need to take a step back and then reframe that. So it's like customer first. It's solving problem for them in a way or that. So it's not all about the company, but it's more about the customer needs and how this event's going to help them solve and help them do more things with less.
Yeah. You brought up yet another thing that I think we should dabble into here, sales enablement. That is so much easier said than done. It's so interesting too. I love that we're talking about this because I think just on one of our prior episodes, like either the one or two prior to this episode when it publishes, we talked about that a little bit too. This is hard. And again, it's like the word demand. It's so much packed into that. There's a lot packed into sales enablement. It's more than just posting, hey, I'm just going to throw the details about the, this event in a Slack or a Teams, group where y'all can see it. And now you're enabled. No. How do you accomplish effective sales enablement? Tell us what you do. Enlighten us, educate us, empower us, please.
And for the record, it's hard at all the companies. Like whenever I talk to any counterparts who runs events, imagine a different company, it's the same common theme that they're all like trying to solve the mystery for. Like we get it. Sales are busy. They have less the quotas to hit, especially end of quarters. They have other priorities. And then we come on top like, hey, I need you to work with me to drive registration for this event and book meetings for that event on site with our executives, so on and so forth. At DocuSign, I kind of market to them the same way we're marketing to our customers. So I create with them like those nice emails with nice templates, not a nice social post that we share in our Slacks and our common like public sales Slacks as well. I offer them like office hours so they can come and answer them any questions they have about the event, registration, content, booking meetings, all of the things. We walk them through everything. Like, hey, I know that you're busy. We have things. We'll make this easy for you. Here is everything that you could possibly ask for, from invitation to campaigns to the reporting to the assets that you could use, the outreach. All you have to do is just bake that into your current outreach to your customers, and then we can both win. And make sure that like also train them that this is a year-long conversation. It's not something that's going to mainly happen 2 or 3 months before the event.
Right.
So we prep them to continue the convo and throughout the year as well.
So key there. And that's the theme too around sales enablement. It may seem very intuitive that, oh, well, they're the sales team. They get why this is important. They get that this is a lead nurture, that a demand generation, that this is going to help them convert to sales, help their goals so that they're, not in trouble, but rather excelling and succeeding. All seems very intuitive, but they're human beings. I mean, if you think about, Ghazwan, I think we can like both relate. We spend all day inundated with notifications through multiple things, emails, and your messaging app or platform that you use for a company or clients. Then there's social notifications. Then there's like people around you. I mean, if you're in an office, that's one thing. If you're working from home, there's always distractions. So you are realizing that you're like, I've got to get their attention and retain it. I really love that you mentioned too, like even the office hours thing. I know there are other event teams out there that probably do something similar, but really acknowledging that these salespeople are getting pulled in multiple directions and maybe they just need throw them a rope, and just be like, hey, you can show up at any time. We'll be here to help you answer that. I think that's super accommodating to be able to do.
Yeah, and we do celebrate the ones who work with us the most on driving or booking meetings. We kind of make sure that they got the credit they deserve.
Nice.
So it's like a teamwork. It doesn't have to rely on one person only.
Well, and incentivizing that too, that makes a ton of sense. That was something else too. I think we've heard just those little tricks. It is so similar to marketing to an external attendee you want to entice to your event. Because like we said, we're all humans and we respond to incentives. We respond to positive affirmation, reinforcement, all that stuff. We all work the same way in that regard, regardless of if our job is to sell the actual product and help power the event or attend it. So I love that you brought that up. We'll be right back with more event experience after the break. Ever wished your event badge did more than just display your name? Whether you're an event organizer, exhibitor, or attendee, Bizzabo's Click Smart Badge transforms the event experience. From interactive networking to real-time attendee insights and lead capture, the Smart Badge is the ultimate game changer. Visit bizzabo.com/click. That's bizzabo.com/KLIK to learn more about the next generation of wearable event technology. Bizzabo, your partner for building conferences that captivate. We're back with Ghazwan Almoazen to enable ourselves to enable sales teams for our next event. Oh gosh, here we go. We're going to talk about the lit topic that nobody can stop talking about or trying to cram into their keywords for literally everything we put out there. AI, let's go. Let's do this. We're going to dive in. Are you ready? I'm ready. Can you touch on that topic for us a little bit? Talk to us about how your team uses AI, not to get used by AI, but that you use it as the power player here. But how does that incorporate into your team? And enlighten us here.
We kind of adopt the mentality that AI is our new teammate. It's remote. We're never going to meet it for face to face or join us at any event, but it's always there. It's always there for us to work with, complain to, brainstorm with, navigate through the things together. From event planning and then creating like the messaging and then creating the campaigns that we want to run for drive for the event, registration, to the follow-ups, to everything that we do. It's nice to have that companion who's always ready and available to hear us, whether at 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. There is always there for us to work with and then collaborate on. I'm
going to put you a little bit on the spot here. Can you describe a prompt, an AI prompt you're pretty used to using to get help in, and whatever. It doesn't matter what it is, but is there anything that you're like, yeah, I use this all the time with my AI?
Yes. I always ask, what else am I missing? So we all know what we know and what we're used to every day. But then at the end, okay, there must be something new that I haven't thought about, or some a new trend that's happening that maybe others are using and I haven't started yet. What else do you recommend? What else am I missing? How can I make this better? How can I make this more engaging, more challenging, more beneficial for everyone so they can respond the way I would like them to respond to this campaign that I'm building?
I love that you do that. Now I'm thinking of different ways that I've gone to AI. And it's interesting. I love that you said, you can vent at it or yell at it. And, it's funny when you do that too, because it'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. And, usually it's it's very nice. It's very polite. And I'll be curious too, as people are now thinking what prompts have I done? And maybe I need to try some new ones. It really does speak. Do you feel like it's pretty much incumbent, any event planner out there better know how to use it in some capacity, at least, if they really want to have hope for success moving forward? Because it does seem like it's permeating everything.
Only if they want to get ahead. Because now if you're not using AI, you are missing out on a lot.
Yeah.
It can help you on so many levels, on so many things, all the way from strategy down to all the silly nitty-gritty tactics that we all try to avoid in our everyday work.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Better to embrace it. But again, utilize it, let it be. I love that you look at it like a coworker who's always on, And I could totally get too, like, there's probably a lot of rebuttal to that to say yes, but maybe some companies out there are saying, yes, look, it's a coworker. I don't have to pay them. I don't have to worry about them sleeping and stuff. It's like true, but there's still always going to be the human factor of event planners that an AI cannot take the place of. I'd love to ask you that too. Like, if you just thinking about that whole kind of contention, what are some things that you're like, look, a human is always going to be needed for this aspect of events. There is no replacement by AI. What are some of those areas, or at least one area you can think of?
Honestly, everything. I mean, I find it hard to believe that AI is going to replace any role on the events team.
Yeah.
It's just the way how you train it to benefit you and to do more with everything on top of everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
So you can save time, like hours to moments when you create whatever you're working on, whatever role you have on the events team, from budget to content to planning, data, logistics, creative, whatever it is. It's just the way how you train yourself to embrace it and then train AI to work with you, not against you.
Love it. I love that. I mean, seriously, anyone who's ever had to go, do a trade show or, actually get on your hands and knees and go find where something's unplugged or plug it in or make sure something is screwed in tightly or whatever. AI ain't doing that. We're always going to need that manpower, but there's always going to be that human expertise that's always going to be needed. So take heart, everyone listening, embrace it where it's useful, but know that you cannot be replaced, right?
Absolutely. I only believe that human expertise will top AI at any day. AI will just support the human expertise, but will not take over.
Maybe to take the screenshots of when AI is going completely rogue and you're like, what were you thinking? With those times when you do need to yell at it, just save those screenshots. Be like, see, no, it's not adequate. It's never going to replace me. Might just be good to keep those in a bank somewhere in like a folder. I want to ask you one final question though, related to demand generation too. You mentioned like you're using website, email, all the stuff that I think we all know, the different omni-channel things we can use, obviously different based on your target audience for your events that you're doing. You might gravitate to some channels over others and things like that. Is there any particular channel you're seeing, especially from your perspective? I'm talking just for DocuSign and your events. Is there any channel that you're like, this one's really working well for us lately?
I do. And I think it will work for anyone promoting any event. It's the end product itself. This is where your customers are every day, using your product, using your platform, your tool, your solution. This is where you can get them fast and furious quickly. So imagine them in DocuSign, they're signing an agreement or reviewing an agreement, and then they will get a pop-up. Hey, want to learn more about this functionality? Join us at Momentum event. It's happening and so and so. Click to register. Quick and simple. This is where I see the most of engagement happens between all the channels that I kind of drive. And I feel if everyone, they kind of have the option to use that hidden gem channel and utilize it some more to engage with their audiences as well and reach them fast.
This really does narrow down if you're working at a SaaS company, software as a service, or where you can, but you got to really work hand in hand then with the product team and make sure they get the marketing aspect of it, why we need this implemented into the product itself so that our users do get that alert. Don't get it too often either or annoyingly, but that you're really strategizing with them as far as executing that within the platform. It's a genius idea.
And then on top of that, they will always have the website promotion, the email promotions. But again, we know that like kind of emails engagement, it depends on also the content and then what else is happening on that week and that day and that time. And then we have the availability issues from all the restrictions we've seen the last 2 years and so on and so forth. But that channels almost never fails for me when running any campaign.
I love that. And it's very smart. And for anyone who is like, oh, we didn't even think about that. Maybe if you aren't doing it yet, do it. And if you are doing it, you're awesome. So good job. You're already nailing that. Final question, easiest question. Where can our listeners find and follow you online?
On LinkedIn. They're welcome to connect with me, send me a message, say hi. I'm always happy to connect with folks and then answer any questions and help guide things whether they need help with any side of the events demand generation, communication, or field enablement.
You can skill up with this next key takeaway from Ghazwan about how feelings play a part in every event experience.
Try to create an emotional connection with your audience and your event. If you nailed that, you've nailed your event. It's going to be a success because not only they will attend your event, but also they're going to come back next year and probably they're going to bring a friend or two from their company as well. And people, they don't come to event only to learn. They also want to come to network, and networking, they want a structured networking. So it's easy for them to identify the folks who are using the same product or have the same problem. And they want to connect way in advance. So now within the mobile app, they have access to all the attendees and they can do the search by the keynote, by the company name, by the keywords, anything that they are looking for to learn more about. They can also start that conversation even a week before the event happens.
Yeah. Thanks again to Ghazwan Almoazen for joining us on Event Experience. And thank you for listening. If you're enjoying the show, we'd love to hear it. Connect with us on social and subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you're listening. Also, don't forget to share the show with your colleagues and friends. You can find transcripts of each episode and key takeaways on bizzabo.com/podcast. On behalf of the team, thank you. We'll gather again soon for a new episode of Event Experience.